But yeah, I mean that's the thing, right? So thinking about how you can get a ROI on music when music isn't really selling at that point. In order for you to even reap a ROI in some capacity, you're going to have to put more money behind the record to even. I mean, you're never going to break even if you are paying an artist to be on a record, and then you got to put money behind the record. The way that it's currently set up today, the financial aspect, unless I don't think you're going to make. I don't think you're going to reap it back. You're gonna be negative, unless you find other creative ways to maybe then exercise other mediums to make that money back in some capacity. But
yeah, I mean, like I said, it boils down to what your plan is and how extensive of a plan you have for the rollout of a record.
mm-hmm.
Because you can decide on, okay, you could say $3,000 is my budget for this song.
Mm-hmm.
And I know a lot of people don't think of it that way when they're making the songs, right? When you're making the song, you just want to make the song. If you're business minded, you want to make sure the splits are right, sure.
Right.
And then that's it, right? You thinking, boom, let's on to the next one. But then that business part of it, whether you are the manager or whether you're a lot of times the artist who's wearing all those hats for yourself, is if you set a budget, that budget has to encompass what you think you can spend and at least yield a break even on. Right? So maybe for you, let's say I'm doing a record and I need a feature, I may say, okay, my feature budget is $1,000. If I'm going to try to find 4 or 5 people who potentially could feature if I'm not solely locked in on one person.
Right.
And you may not be able to be locked in on one person depending on what that person would charge for a feature.
Right.
Right. But trust me, there's other independents that have mid-range motion, and I'm gonna say that's, let's just say this person has over 20,000 monthly listeners on Spotify or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You calculate, what that individual can bring to the record in terms of their current search engine optimization, their current algorithm frequency and engagement trend. And you use that to gauge what that person, in terms of whether it's streams or even the ability to do live performances, would bring to the record. You may even, depending on if I'm gonna, let's say I'm gonna pay somebody the full $1,000, that's my feature budget. Okay, well, when we do the splits for this record, it's also gonna have a page on it that says that you agree to do X amount of promotional, work for this record, whether that's I'm asking for 3 live performances, I'm asking for all of this is for that $1,000.
Right.
Right. So that if you want to ensure you get a return, okay, now if my budget was $3,000, I spent $1,000 on the feature, I got $2,000. So I'm running ads on Google, I'm running ads on Spotify, I'm running ads on Facebook, I'm running ads on Instagram, I'm running ads on TikTok, and I'm going to set the budget at $500. So if I'm running $500 worth of ads, I want it to run specifically in these. So the worst case scenario, if that person has some motion and you got a little bit of motion, let's say you got less than your feature artist, is that you can at least see a streaming profit, and that being via both your PRO, ASCAP, BMI, whoever.
Right.
You're also seeing revenue come from your mechanicals. So whatever DistroKid or CD Baby or what's the other one? Any of the distributors are paying out based on the streams. And then, if you're not publishing through your performance rights organization, if you're doing your publishing through the mechanical license collective, then you have those different revenue sources where
Right.
you at least seeing something, right? Let's say
Yeah.
that's only $50 a quarter, $100 a quarter, but still you're not gonna spend that because you already had your full budget. Now you're just trying to see if you can make that money back. Does that mean you go out to the streets and you try to see if you can get shows
Right.
with that person attached and get, some money from the door, or shoot, you could do a kickback at somebody's house and charge people $5 to get in, whatever it takes to get the bread back. If the artistry is truly what you want to do, and you have a business mind as well, you can create a scenario that will get you very close to a break even, if not in addition a profit.
Yeah.
It's possible, but I don't think that most times, like I said, especially for singular songs, I don't think we always think of it in that way as independents, but we kind of have to.
And I think that's the point, is how do you go through a process where you are planning to allocate how much funds you're going to distribute to each thing, right? And so when you have a particular budget, how do you ensure, because any person that's in business always wants to have an ROI. There has to be an ROI, return on investment for you. I mean, I'm sure you know what it is, but so if you're paying out someone, now think about it, if it's an actual album versus even a song. Of course, hopefully your budget's probably a little bigger if you're getting other individuals to be featured on music that that you've made, or this album that you want to put.
But maybe not, because I like where we are on a granular level with this conversation, because there's somebody who has a regular everyday job and they don't have bread like that.
Exactly.
And so your feature budget might be $300, but it's better if you pick the right person to have as your feature. You know that the best thing that you can do. What do you do when you want to reach something higher? You go to a higher ground, right? So if that means you got to stack one thing on top of another and then stand on top of that to get there, that's what you do. So if I need to stack my fan base on top of the fan base of another artist, then I know I can reach higher if I'm continuing to stack. And that may be even as intentional as who my producer is. Is that producer somebody who's active on social media platforms? Do they have motion that I can afford? Right? But I think when you think of it that way and you literally go into it with a budgeted mindset and you say, I want to make a return on the investment, there's a large chance that you can. And it's just what you're willing to spend, how you're going to spend it, where you spend it, how you planned it.
I guess, right. So we're maybe I'm speaking and maybe you're speaking in financial terms, but maybe ROI is more than just.
Oh, that's a fact. I was going to say that next.
Maybe
ROI may not be getting that money back. It may be the exposure itself.
Exactly.
You it's worth it. If I've got a $10,000 budget and I'm like, you know what, based on the way this thing is falling out, I think we're gonna put together 3 singles, and we're gonna give them all a $3,000 budget. That's $9,000. So I'm only expecting one of these singles to pop. So if I can use the first 2 to build up the momentum, the trend for that third one to pop, I'm okay if I don't make any of the money back on them first 2. But I need to, in order for me to know what I'm doing is working, I now need to see a return on the investment on that third single. So I need to at least get that $3,000 back I spent on that third single, because I basically said I'm gonna spend $6,000 to make $3,000.
Exactly. I mean, right? so, and that's what I was saying.
And then if it's doing well and I need to feed a little more coal into the fire,
then you could.
I got $1,000 that I had extra because I only allotted a $3,000 budget to each of the songs.
That's right.
So if I need to buy more ads, or
then you could divvy up that $1,000 to go into different types of ad platforms that allow you to then to
Yeah.
market that. But that's what I was saying. Maybe ROI is not just a financial aspect. I know a lot of times people think ROI is just money. I spend money. I need to
Yeah.
reap the same amount of money back
Yeah.
to either break even or I need to make a profit
Yeah.
from what I put out. And sometimes it's not. Sometimes it is just maybe it's exposure. Maybe it's the relationship. Maybe it's an open door, a connection, something else that allows you
a
to
company. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a company, R&D, right? Research and
Exactly.
development. There are $1 trillion companies, or those that are evaluated at $1 trillion worth, that are not profitable.
Amazon wasn't profitable for a very, very long time.
Right now, the big one in the news is SpaceX,
Right.
and they're talking about they're going to come public, maybe even as soon as next week, and it's not a profitable company. They're spending like $400 million a year with no profit return, but this is about what they're building for in the future and what that will be worth.
That's right.
So this money is really being spent on the research and development. That's why I say if you had to release 2 singles to get momentum up, to get people aware of your music, to even maybe you need those 2 singles to even be able to get the feature that you want on the 3rd single, because that person's not going to do a
Right.
feature for somebody who don't have no motion. So you could say, this is my 3rd release. My 2nd one did better than my 1st. This 3rd record is even hotter. To hope that they'll give you a number that fits within your budget so that you can get them on that record. So a lot of times you may, like you said, your return on investment may not be in a physical or a fiscal form.
Right. And I think that's the thing. I think even in the beginning, you have to determine what the outcome is you're really looking for.
Yeah, big picture.
Big picture.
Not just I want people to like my music, or
big
not just
picture.
I want people to listen to my music.
That's right. So what is it big picture wise to be able to say, okay, I have a budget, but I know what I want this song to be able to do and what results I'm looking for, and be able to plan that out effectively.
Yeah.
I think sometimes when people are in that process, they don't think about that, of course, right? They're thinking, okay, I got the song. Hey, I need to release it on a DSP. And okay, cool. I paid $1,000. Now I just need to make it back. But that $1,000 can help you do a lot of different things, or at least give you the ability to be exposed to a lot of different things.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I just thought it was interesting in the fact that, in that particular situation, because normally for me, it doesn't usually work out that way in that capacity to be able to do it, without that return on investment. But as we're having this conversation, maybe the ROI isn't just that. Maybe there's a reconsideration to really determine how do we really need to approach that differently in a way that is beneficial to both parties involved. And then how do we really maximize different audience base?
Yeah.
Right. How do we maximize, just the exposure that we may be to get? I mean,
yeah. And it depends on too, like, just the entire strategy around the record itself. Let's say that the record is something that lends itself to sync, or it lends itself to commercial. You got to be thinking to yourself, maybe the traditional formats of music being heard and music being monetary is not enough for this particular record. I'm intentionally gonna go after sync. I'm intentionally gonna be pitching this song in other areas, and if you've created a song that allows you to do that, then that all becomes part of the plan of what it's worth to you. Right. You think of it like this. Did a song with an artist, and the song, we just liked it. It was a great vibe. We felt like it was a cool record. We wanted to put out something positive, something, unique but familiar all at the same time. And so we put the record out. We spent what we spent. Didn't expect to get it back. Probably 8 months go by, we didn't get it back, right?
Right.
So we like, oh, well, we didn't make turn a profit.
Man.
Then 3 months later, the song gets picked up. It gets put in a film. Now, not only on the initial return did we get back what we spent in its entirety on the record, but accolade after accolade, all that make yesterday's price, not today's price. So the return on investment was exponential. Right. But if we had never made the initial investment, we would have never had an opportunity to see what it turned into.
That's right. And I think that's the key, is because we never know what the actual outcome is going to be.
That's right.
I mean, you can plan for all types of outcomes, but you never truly know.
You
can only see maybe a certain aspect of what you desire an outcome to be. And you can plan and work toward what your desired goals are and outcomes and results should be for that. But there probably is more in store for things that you may not have considered if you didn't, I don't got it and I can't do it, and maybe it's not feasible, so we're just not going to do it. And so you never know what opportunities exist.
Yeah.
And so sometimes you may have to go, okay, cool, I need to, come off the bread a little bit and then say, okay, we'll see what happens after that. Because you never know the possibilities that could afford itself based upon what you've decided to do and what eventually transpires from that.
Yeah.
So
I love the fact that we're currently in an environment in music overall, and have been for the last couple of years, where the amount of effort that you're willing to put towards a record being successful really dictates whether or not there is a return on, and it doesn't require money. Social media posting, a lot of these different contests that you can enter songs into. Some of these sync platforms, you pay a $49 subscription or $69, and it goes into a pool of songs that do get picked for those things sometimes. I mean, there's so many different ways that you can try to gain listeners.
Today, yes.
Today.
Because you think about, historically,
this was non-existent.
It was non-existent.
Yeah, you couldn't do it.
You couldn't do it. There was no way that independent creators could load their music up to a music library or pitch music to a sync house or sync agency, or even go direct to consumer. And the only way you can really go direct to consumer back in our day was that you had to pop the trunk and be like, hey, here's the CDs, or go into the mall and be like, hey, you want to buy my mixtape for $5?
At the flea market, whatever.
Exactly, right? And so now you have different platforms that allow you to put your music on those platforms and to distribute it worldwide, maybe for a small nominal fee, but you have the ability to do that. I mean, there are companies out there that make sure they're legit, can run ads for you and kind of manage that process for you.
Yeah.
But you do have to, you got to spend money in order to make money.
Yes. Because
the platforms and things that like your TuneCores and things, they're not free. So you got to go set up your TuneCore account or your whatever other DSPs, distributors out there, and sometimes you may you're going to have to give up some money to be able to do that effectively. And I think it's thinking holistically about what are all the elements, and you may not know all of it in the very beginning, but what are all those elements that I need in order to make this successful? One of the things when I put up this album that I did back in 2017, what's the name of the company? Discmakers. Discmakers had a free album release rollout of all the things that you should do for maybe, like from the inception of the album all the way post album. And if you followed that, because I followed that, that's how I put my album on. I submitted it to radio stations and college radio stations, terrestrial. Everywhere I could. I came to Atlanta. I did interviews. I did an interview with Tampa Mystic. It's just all these different things that you have the ability to do to gain exposure to that song that you may not have considered in the past, and really taking those avenues to explore that. it's wide open today.
Yes,
We,
big time.
yeah, the artists need to take
Yeah.
advantage of that. But I know sometimes you're a singular individual. You work a full-time job. You got an apartment, a car, and all the baby mama.
Right.
And you gotta
your song budget might be $300.
And you got to figure out how to maximize that $300.
Yeah. I mean, and I know it's tough right now, right? Because we are in a world where convenience is king. And so currently with all of the digital platforms that allow you to basically prompt AI prompt music, or even whether it's like samples or tracks off of YouTube, that kind of thing. There are lots of ways that you can get started for free.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to know that there's an end game that says if I want to elevate the quality and or exposure to my music, to my product, I'm going to have to break bread.
Yeah.
At some point.
At some point. And be okay with that.
Yeah.
And already have that set aside. And make a sacrifice to say, I'm going to have to put this. If you really want to see that project come to fruition, I'm going to set aside this amount for the next whatever period of time is to be able to. That's why we tell artists, don't listen to a lot of people that talk about, just go full time. Like, because you go full time into something and you won't have a financial plan and backing to be able to do what you need to do.
Yeah,
you're shooting yourself in the foot. Like, stay in your job.
Yeah,
stay in your job. People
say
let that be in your investor.
Full-time job is going to pay for you to be able to have that equipment, and
that's right. That's right.
That hopefully, you do kind of graduate out of the job and into the creative space you want to be in. But you need that bread.
You need that bread. If you really want to make it,
you want to make some sandwiches,
you want to make it work.
You're gonna need some bread.
Make some sandwiches. You're gonna need some bread. You're gonna need some other stuff too, unless you just want to eat two breads, eat two breads together.
Yeah, that ain't the move.
Maybe throw some mayonnaise in between, or some mustard in there. But if you want some meat,
pause. Yeah,
you want that meat.
If you want meat, that ain't none of my business.
You gonna have to come out that bread.
Come off the bread.
Man, have we talked since Music Biz Week?
We have not.
We have not talked since Music Biz Week, right?
No. How was it?
It was cool. Music Biz Week was good. I saw a lot of familiar faces.
Yeah.
I met a lot of people that I didn't know. There was just one guy that was there, and we ended up following him. But either I followed him or we followed each other, but I did follow him. And I walked up to him and I was like, "Excuse me, I don't know who you are, but I get an overwhelming sense of freedom from you." And he was like, and here's why I say that. My man was dressed in like flowery type pants, like a Hawaiian type shirt, walking around, white guy, just like, "Hey, what's?" I was like, I just get a sense of freedom from you. We're here with thousands of people, but it's something about you. And yes, it is represented by what you wear, but it is also represented how you are carrying yourself within this space. He was like, "You know what? Let me tell you something." He said, "I get a lot of compliments about that. But you know who I get a lot of compliments from?" I was like, "Tell me." "Black guys." I was like, "Why?" And he went to this story about, he said, because black guys have had he said this black people in general have had it really bad in this country. And so he goes into this spiel, into this talk, and he says, for me, it is about being free and the expression of myself to just be who and whatever it is I want to do. He said, but it's interesting to me. He said, "You're a black guy. You came up to me and was like, you just look free." He was like, black guys are the only people who really come up and say that to me. I just thought it was interesting. But anyway.
That is very interesting.
Very interesting. And I end up following him. And
so what does he do? What's his
what is
passion or profession?
What does he do? What does he do? Of course, he's into music, right? I mean, he's at Music Biz Week. So
right.
I think his name is Dave. I guess he would be in like my most recent, following people I most recently followed, or if he followed me, and he would be there. But it was just very interesting that latest. Let me go to latest, because he would be in my latest. And it was just a certain level of, man, who are you? And what do you do? Because you look really free. Oh, I'm trying to see. It would be Music Biz Week. But man, I can't remember his name was David. But for some reason, this is not showing me latest the way it's supposed to show me latest followers. But I was like, wow, it was just something about him. Anyway, Music Biz Week was good. There was a lot of, it was different. Now, I would say that. It's not something that you would get from our culture of individuals. It was the completely opposite side of that. And you knew that you were in a different space, because everybody there was, most people had like on a suit of some kind. They had slacks.
Yeah.
You had people who came in sneakers and things like that. I'm still trying to find them, but who came up in slacks and sneakers and stuff like that. But I thought his name was David. And I typed in all my Davids in here, but this David, he's not coming up.
So was he at one of the events, or he was?
No, he wasn't even a panelist. I don't think he was a panelist. He was just there.
Right.
He was there. But he had to be somebody important, because he's walking around with Benny Blanco and other people, just casually like, yeah, I'm good. Let me and right, and I don't like not knowing.
Yeah, no, that's interesting.
But anyway, it was good. It was a lot of information, a lot of good information, a lot of, but even in that sense, it was very short as far as the panels were concerned. I'm just being honest, right? It was, some panels were like 30 minutes. I'm like, 30 minutes. So I had a chance to finally meet Serona Elton from the MLC.
Okay.
Because
that's her name, Serona.
Yep. I interviewed.
Who was I talking to that I could not remember what her name was?
Probably Serona. I interviewed Serona on the platform.
Yeah, I met Serona through AIMP.
Yep. And that's how I knew Serona, was through AIMP. And I was like, I'm going to interview her. And so I reached out, and she was like, yeah, let's do it. And so we made it happen. And I walked up to her and I was like, hey, she was like, hey, oh my gosh, we can finally meet face to face. And it was cool that she remembered who, of course, hopefully she remembered that we did a whole hour or so interview.
Yeah.
And then I also saw Terry Nelson Carpenter, former national AIMP or AI. I think she used to be the national president of AIMP, but then was the chapter president of the LA.
Okay.
So she was there. Reed Wick was there. Reed is who got me into the Recording Academy.
Okay.
And so I walked up to him, like, "Hey, Reed." He was like, "What's up, Brian?" It's been a while since I've seen Reed. But it was a different type of event. I would say that. It wasn't like your South by Southwest. It wasn't like your A3C. It was the business side.
Yeah. That's
exactly
the
what it was.
ones you mentioned give a expo vibe.
Yes.
Like, demonstrations and they give that type of energy.
Yes.
Whereas Music Biz is more, you will see the most people with slacks and sports coats.
Man,
because you're not going to see that at most conferences or summits. Mm-hmm. You're not going to see that. People coming in tennis shoes and jeans or whatever they had on that day.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, music biz, you're gonna see a completely different aspect because you do have true vendors, distribution companies, publishing
right.
companies. They're
That's right.
sending their teams out to these events.
That's right.
So for them, it is actually a work event.
That's right. So I had a meeting with the global head of communications for Deezer.
Nice.
That was a dope conversation.
Deezer. You
Deezer.
should have asked Deezer why they the lowest paying streaming platform on the planet. Well, I think Boomplay.
On the planet.
Boomplay, I think, pays. I don't know. It's a tie. Deezer and Boomplay are
I'm not
the
gonna
two
say
most
what
disrespectful platforms on the planet. I know we always talk about Spotify because they're so big.
Because they're so big. That's why people
'cause
always
they're so
gravitate
big.
to Spotify.
But on the continent of Africa, Boomplay is the largest platform not named Spotify.
And I'm sure over in
UK,
wherever Deezer is located,
is the most prominent platform.
I'm sure.
Yeah, so to be paying 0.0002 is just nasty work, Deezer.
Deezer, what's going on? But yeah, I did have a meeting with.
Did you cuss him out?
I didn't.
It
was very
What's up
interesting.
With the 0.0002?
It was very interesting
guy.
what we talked about. I can't convey what all the things that we talked about.
Nice.
Because I'm sure that they told me things that they probably weren't supposed to.
Oh, that's good.
So
that's saucy. Did you record that?
I did not.
Oh,
yeah, I did not. But
wow,
they did tell me some things that. But so how this conversation started with Deezer, and I still want to do it, which is an AI and music type of conversation. I kind of know, most people are probably about, AI, and it's like, man, we got. But when I had put it out in the world that I was going to do this, they reached out to me and was like, hey, we see this. Are you going to do this? We'd be interested in, being a part of this because, we're the forefront of all DSPs that are really taking a proactive approach to AI music and ensuring that AI music is not on our platforms. Cool. And I didn't know who the guy was at first.
Mm-hmm.
And he was the global head of communications for Deezer. He was like, hey, you're going to be at Music Biz. I was like, I am. He was like, cool, let's set up a meeting. He said, I'm going to bring my mans with me and we going to talk. And we talked for about a good hour about just AI, music, and just some of the things that Deezer is going to implement. And I was like, oh, isn't he? No, it ain't not Jimmy. I'm still trying to find this guy.
Great conversation.
It was a very insightful conversation. See, these are conversations that a lot of times people don't get into or have the ability to be a part of because maybe they are in a position that allow them to have those conversations or the exposure to have those conversations. Like I said, they reached out to the platform, was like, hey, we're interested. I would have never expected Deezer to be able to do that. And they did. And we have this, man, I'm going to tell you this conversation off camera. But, man, I wish I could find my man's though, bro. He was, I don't know why it's not coming. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. Maybe I don't know how to use social media in the way that I thought. Latest. How come you're not showing me the latest? Yeah, that's the earliest. I don't want to see the people that I followed since I started Instagram.
Oh my goodness.
I want to see those who joined
most recently.
Right? That's who I want to see. But it was good. I saw tons of people. I connected with Tammy Hurt.
Yes.
And I got introduced to a lot of people from the Recording Academy.
Yes.
That were there, that were either part of panels or, just there to represent. I met Professor Butler, who runs the Berklee School of Music.
Okay.
And she was like, well, what do you do? And I told her, she was like, I got to come on your platform. I was like, well, I'd love to have you. I will reach out. I still got to reach out get on here.
You gotta reach out.
I gotta reach. Man,
that would be huge.
That would be huge. Because I told us I got an acquaintance of mine that teaches there, and she was like, "Let me guess, Jay Rose." I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "Yeah, I know Jay." She was like, "I hired him," and so she was like, "Yes, I know him." I had him on the show. He's a producer as well. I had him on the show. But it was insightful, just a lot of the conversation that they were having about music biz. This is not I would encourage all independent artists to go to that. Because they're talking about things that you may not get in other spaces.
For sure.
That have a very detrimental or very positive impact on your music career. And they're sharing what their platforms are going to be doing. I mean, you think about all the major distribution companies. I mean, there was Spotify was there, Symphonic was there, TuneCore. I mean, any distribution that was there, heads of departments for all the major. I met another dude named Brian. I can't remember Brian's last name, but Brian, if you ever see this, man, shout out to you. We instantly connected. He works at Sony. I think he's head of something at Sony, but A&R at Sony, something like that. But he's at Sony. He lives in Nashville. I met him, got a chance to connect with him. I met the other guy from CSAC. It is the business side of it. I would encourage any independent creative to go to that.
Yeah.
Spend whatever the amount of money is and go to music biz. I met Dallas Austin there. I just walked right up to him. Hey, what's up, Dallas? He was like, hey, what's good? I was like, hey, most people are like, yo, that's Dallas Austin. Yo, he worked with Boyz II Men, right? And
Right.
in my head,
Right.
I was like, that's Dallas Austin. He worked with Boyz II Men.
Right.
But in my regular thing, I was like, hey, what's good, Dallas?
Right.
He was like, hey, what's
man?
good? I was like, that's Dallas Austin. And and it kind of took me back to the conversation we had here with Greg. And I was like, hey, I said, my brother. He was like, who? I was like, and I always call Greg my brother in case y'all. And he was like, oh, I was like, Greg Smith? He was like, oh, man, good old Greg Smith, man. He was like, I was like, yeah, that's my man's right there. But same thing with Benny Blanco. He was like, yeah, I guess that's a name. Sorry, Greg, if I'm saying your name too much. And they were like, Greg, there's some dude running around saying your name all the time. Think about it's probably Brian. That's who it is. He's saying my name all the time. But I would encourage anybody to go to that because they are having conversations that are very, and I say detrimental, not necessarily in a positive way. I mean, in a negative way, but
the information.
That you need to acquire from the people that are behind the scenes, that are not in the forefront, that are movers and shakers of major companies. You need to be there. You need to hear what they're saying. Take that information and apply. That's the first time I met Wendy was there.
Okay.
And so Wendy was there. Rico Brooks was there. Tammy was there. Celeste was there. There was so many people there. But you never know who you're going to run into.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah, I hate I missed it this year.
I'm going.
And now that's it. I think it's to go to Miami next year.
It's not going to be here.
Miami next year and then back to Nashville.
Yep.
They're trying to get it to New York as well. But
I'll go to Nashville for it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Me too.
I'm gonna go to Nashville for it.
Miami is too far.
Yeah, I'm not going to Miami.
Too far, too expensive.
Nope.
I guess it's not too expensive, but it's too far and too expensive.
I'm still trying to find my man's because man, if I show you his picture, you can be like, yeah, my man he look real free. Not in a bad way, but he just like, you can tell my man is like, I'm here, I'm doing me, and you like it, you don't. He has a podcast too. I did find that out because when I went to go research, and I just don't remember his name. I'm kind of bad with names, but I met a lot of people there that night, just during that time.
Yeah.
And it was very beneficial. A lot of conversations. with movers and shakers behind the scene. And I'm going to find you. Oh, what's his name? This was the dude. You probably know who he is.
Oh yeah, I've seen him before.
Brian.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, me and Brian, we instantly connected, man. Like,
yeah, he's on a pod. What podcast is he on? Yeah, I know his face.
I don't know if I'm gonna find out. I gotta hit him up anyway. But that was a good experience, a different type of experience than you would. So, and then they had other ancillary events that you could go to during the week that you still could connect with other people,
right?
And network as well. So, I think that was a good. Like I said, I would encourage anybody to go to that. I'm still looking for them, but I'm not.
I hate that
them.
I missed it. I've had 2 or 3 people hit me up like, "Yo, where were you? Like, what happened? Where you at? You've been missing in action." I'm like, I'm glad to know that y'all felt like I should be there, but shoot, my back was jacked up and
I was like, what happened?
I was down bad.
He said he was down bad.
Down bad, but I'm back in the game though. Can't hold me down.
Can't hold me down. We getting old out here. I mean, that's
what they say.
That's what
But I ain't gonna own it. I don't care. I'm up. I was down then, but I'm up today though.
He said I was down bad.
I'm up today though. So another dub for me.
Hey, another man. I'm not gonna spend the entire podcast trying to look for this.
Looking at dude,
man, because trying to you ever just like been in a and you're like, man, I cannot. Oh, it's gonna bug me. And then as soon as we're done, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, it was this dude right here.
Right.
I hate that. I hate that. I hate that. But I'm not gonna sit here and keep looking for my man. I will find it. I will text it to you. I'm like, yeah, this is the dude right here. Like, this is my man. But I don't think I'm gonna find it while I'm on this while we sitting here talking about it. But no, it was a great event. Like I said, I would encourage anybody, if you're in the music space, go to music biz. You wouldn't think about it. You'd be like, oh, it's music business. Yes, because that is what you need to know. Music business.
Yeah, and like you said, we do have so many summits and conferences.
Yes.
That you kind of get lulled to sleep by maybe redundant messages and kind of seeing the same faces. Music business, none of that though.
It's not.
It's much more, like you said, the business side and those aspects that you need to be aware of what's going on. So,
man, why can't I find my man? I'm upset. I know, and the reason why I found him because I found him in a picture. That's how I found him. He was in a picture on their Instagram. At least I thought. And I was like, oh, this is him right here. And that's how I followed him. But anyway, I'm gonna keep it moving while I'm still looking. Yo, I hate that is the one thing that bugs me is not being able to try to find something that you're looking for. Oh, bam. His name is Dimitri. This dude.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
He looks like he's got a huge personality.
Huge personality. Yep. He is the CEO. He's RPS, whatever RPS is. Who's an ace communicator? RPS CEO, Dimitri. I can't pronounce his last name.
Okay.
Thanks to Music Biz for naming him the Ace Communicator Award at the Busy Awards here in Atlanta.
Oh, okay. And he was an award winner.
Right. He has a music tectonics podcast, rock, paper, scissors, music tech PR firm. He doesn't have a lot of followers, but he definitely is. Everybody knew who this dude was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think there was a person. The people When I say the people, yeah, everybody knew who this guy was. So I had met another guy like that. And I was you probably were there. Maybe you weren't. When we first kicked off the AIMP chapter here in Atlanta, we had a kickoff networking event. And
probably wasn't there.
Probably so, but at
the first place I arrived on the AIMP scene was the summit.
Okay, it was before that, and so they had this big old networking thing. That's where I met my man Prince Howard that night. And as I'm talking to Prince Howard, and if you know Prince Howard, he's suited, like man was clean, right? And then I'm sitting there, and he was like, "Yo, I had to come over and just introduce myself to you." I was like, he was like, "I've been watching you." He said, "How you move, and how you talking to people." He said, I had to come over like, "Hey, what's good? My name's Prince." And as I'm talking to him, this dude walks up. And he's like, "Hey, what's going on, everybody?" And he's in like regular khaki pants or whatever, like a Hawaiian shirt with half open, just with a cup. Like, "Hey, what's up, y'all?" And Prince is like, "Hey, what's going on? Hey, hi, nice to see you again." Boom. He's just like, "Yeah. I mean, hey, what's your name?" "Hey, my name is Brian. I do this." And once again, it is the important part of being in the room. If you don't go to events, and if you don't know what you do and are able to communicate that effortlessly and effectively to people, you're gonna miss out on opportunities. Because my man was sitting there just like, "Yeah, hey, I'm Paul Katz. Nice to meet you. Cool." And Paul, he just walks off. Yeah. And Prince goes, "You know who that was?" I was like, "Nope, that's Paul Katz." I was like, I still don't know who Paul Katz is. Paul Katz is a big dude.
Yeah, executive.
Yeah, executive. Yeah. When I say executive, I'm talking about in the publishing world. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's AIMP, right? But yes, Paul is a big dude. But he was just like, "Hey," you never know who you're going to meet. Yeah. If you don't put yourself in spaces and places to meet people and have conversations.
Yeah, I think to that point, the key thing that you said was be prepared to speak to, what your profession or your passion is.
Yes.
In a way that does make people interested in who you are and what you're offering.
Yes.
You can't just be like, "Yeah, I write songs."
I'm a songwriter. Okay.
Now, don't get me wrong. I have done that before, but it was because it was, if you like in a hurry and you don't have a lot of time or something, and you just say, I write songs.
Yes, I write songs.
But, I mean, if you're obviously, in circles where you want people to get the best understanding of what it is that you do, and you're looking obviously to collaborate or whatever the case may be, you got to have that elevator pitch. You got to be able to tell them,
"That's right.
Hey, this is who I am. This is what I do."
That's right.
And based on whatever you do, that might be of some use to you, right?
So, that's right. I always tell people, once again, I did a whole class on networking in the music industry, right? I think that's why people say, "Well, how do you know so many people?" Like, because I know people on every side of the music industry, because I go to things and I meet people and I have conversations with like the global head of communications from Deezer, or this guy Dimitri, or Tammy, or Serona, or Reed, or whoever, and you would think like you wouldn't have conversations with them. Like, no, I'm having conversations with them because I know I always identify who it is that I want to meet at these networking events,
right?
And I tell people. Matter of fact, here's something that was dope. Here's something that was so dope. I'm not tooting my own horn because I can't, because I'm a nobody, right? I tell people
we know better.
I'm a nobody in this whole thing, right? So hey,
we ain't gonna let you land that plane.
Hey, so they had one of the events they had at Music Biz Week, but it was an ancillary event. Was at Studio 700, or I think it's the official name, Studio 700. Greg was going to be there. He was on a panel with Madeline. And Carisha, the diva, was on the panel as well with the lady who I know her name is in my head. I can see her. She has a name that somebody else has. She's Ray Daniels' co-host.
She is or
yes,
was?
She is.
Is.
Yeah,
okay,
she is.
I don't know
T-Mac.
what her name is.
T-Mac.
Okay.
She was there too. So that was the first time I met T-Mac. And first time I met Carisha. But I'm in a suit. I just decided to wear a suit that night. My wife's like, "Oh, you dressing up tonight?" I was like, "Yeah, man, I'm just go. I'm gonna dress up tonight. Go to this thing." So when we pull up and I go to the thing, they got the security, and you got to do the whole pat down, right? And check your ticket and all that stuff. Greg is standing outside, and he sees me. He goes, "Hey, that's my man's right there. Like, he's with me. Let him." And the dude was like, "Hey, he said you with him. Just go do your thing." I was like, "All right, cool, man. Appreciate it." Right. So I go in talking to Greg for a little bit. Let me backtrack. The parking was hella far though. From this place,
from the venue,
man. So I'm in a suit.
Yeah,
it's hot.
You hot.
I'm burning up.
You don't walk the smooth
boy,
mile.
I felt like a pastor up there. We gonna praise the Lord. Boy, I was so. Oh my gosh, I was wiping like.
That's funny.
But there was this guy that was with me, because he parked right where I was, and he was lost trying to figure out where to go. We had to walk all the way around like a mile to get back to. Some dudes were like, "Hey, where'd you park?" I was like, "Man, you got to park in Egypt, bro." To even get to get security was like, "Not Egypt." I was like, "The parking's hella far, bro, because y'all not even telling people where they got to park."
Yeah.
And so he's walking with me. He's asking me what I do, and I'm telling him about the platform and all that other stuff. And so we get there, and so keep in mind, as we are getting to the gate and we got to check the tickets, he is standing right there with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Yeah, man, I just do this. I'm not really." And Greg is, here we go. Greg is like, "Yo, that's my man. He's with me. Let him through." Right. And the dude was like, "Oh, nah, you ain't nobody."
Right.
Right. If you got people here that's like, "Yo, he's with me. Let him through." Like, he kind of stayed in proximity where I was the entire time. And I'm just talking to people. Hey, he's just like, "Yeah, you know a lot more people than you think, than you say."
Yeah.
Say that you do. And almost everybody that's coming up here is like, "Hey," and you're like, "Hey," taking pictures with everybody, like, "Hey," like, nah. But what's interesting is that he and I got into a conversation about effective networking, tactics.
Mm-hmm.
And I shared with him a lot of those tactics there, and I demonstrated it as I was telling him. And he was like, "Yo," wait, that actually really. I said, "Of course. I mean, this is what I teach. This.
Yeah.
I teach this stuff on a regular, basis. Like, this absolutely works." I said, "The thing is, he's a new producer, only been producing for like 2 years.
Okay. Was
making his entry, trying to get, build connections and things."
Yeah.
So he stood kind of where I was the entire time, like, "Oh, you know way more people.
Yeah.
You got people coming up to you going, 'Hey,
right.
I don't know what you do, but you look like somebody important.'" And so they had these badges that you had to wear. Red for like an artist, blue for like this, white for this, pink was for executives. I had a pink thing on.
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh yeah." Oh yeah. So while we're there, Greg is on the stage doing his, his panel thing, and he's talking about the podcast. He's talking about his interview. Man, my man Matt Steele from Steel Sync, y'all make sure y'all go check him out. Matt was like, "Hey, Brian, they in here talking about you. Greg is talking about you." And he's like, "Get in here." I was like, "All right, cool." So I go in, room was full of people. And he was like, "Yeah." And Greg was like, "There he is right there." And I was like, "What's going on?" He was like, "Yeah, we talking about the platform, but you want to hear?" I was like, "My bad, bro." And everybody's like, "Nah." And so what was crazy is the guy was standing at the door. And so I walked in and Greg, he looked, he was like, "Nah, way more people than you say that you know."
Yeah.
He said, "Nah." And so that whole night, he was like glued to the hip.
Yeah,
and I keep telling
him. I done met somebody.
I keep telling him, bro.
I ain't letting this guy out of my sight.
I'm like, "Bro, I'm a nobody in this thing." He was like, "Nah." I said, I'm nah, because Greg was like, where my board members at for MMF? And I was like, "Woo, woo." And the dude was like, "Yeah,
right."
Boy.
He like, "Ain't no
way." He was
way.
like, "Nope."
You lying through your teeth.
He was like, "You lying."
This guy tried to tell me
you lying.
He painted lines on the parking lot.
Right? He said, like, "You lying." He was like, "Nah, bro." But long story short, it is the process of being in places.
Yes.
I think that people don't take advantage of as they should. Going to events, networking,
that's
building
what's different
connections.
about the entertainment industry as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
That's an aspect of it that, you know, I hate to keep circling back to this, but that's an aspect of the entertainment industry that cannot be duplicated from a computer screen.
Facts.
Yeah, there's no artificial intelligence that's going to put you in the room with the right people
That's right.
in order to build
That's
a
right.
connection, a genuine rapport with people. And like you say, we go outside and people know who we are because we go outside and let people know who we are. It's really that simple. It's not rocket science. Now, on the other side of that, like you said, you've got to be doing something that is, meaningful to yourself, but also meaningful to a consuming public or someone with a business opportunity and be able to communicate that. But yeah.
I had people. So one of the beauties of Music Biz Week is that they had an app, and you could see who was attending, and you could actually IM the people, or text them in the app, that you wanted to connect.
Yeah, AIMP did that.
Yeah,
the summit. At the summit one year, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, so hey, I see you're gonna be at the summit. I think we should connect. Hey, I see you're gonna. I had a bunch of those. I didn't know anybody. It was like, hey, we saw your profile. We think we should connect. That's how I met Brian, and he was Brian Garrett over at Sony, and he was like, hey, I see you're gonna be at Music Biz. I think we should connect. Cool. I mean, I met so many people, but I'm a natural. I didn't used to be this way, and I think sometimes people have to get out of their own way and out of their own comfort zone in order to truly maximize their opportunities when they're meeting people.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking to people that hey, what do you do? Oh, I own a record company out in Los Angeles called blah, blah, blah. And I'm here. I thought it'd be a good opportunity for me to come here and to be able to meet people, cool. Well, what do you do? Oh, I mean, I met dudes who run record labels, record stores, sync companies. They're the head of A&R4. They are the president for. Like, I met this guy was like, I'm gonna come back and talk to you. I was like, bet. I was like, what? He said, I was like, what do you do? Oh, he said, I don't remember what he does, but he was like, oh, I do this, this, and this, and this, and I do this for the company, his company. And right now we are here at Music Business Week to pitch our ideas and talk about it to our investors who are part of this process. But you never know who you're meeting unless you get outside. Yeah. You got to come out of the studio and actually meet people. It's not just about creating a song and must throw them on a DSP and we're just going to keep it moving, make a little TikTok here and then the little Instagram reel and then boom. No, you got to meet. Yeah.
And if you are just an artist in terms of what you want to contribute to the entertainment or the musical process, then you have to surround yourself with a team of people who will be the person that you are not, who will have the conversations that you will not.
That's right.
Who will travel to the opportunities to network and on your behalf. If that's not who you are, because there's somebody at home saying, "Well, that ain't me. I don't do all that. I'm not kissing no ass. I ain't trying to. I'll stay in the studio making these hits, and then I'm gonna be undeniable when I come out." And all of that sounds great, but you could have actually sped up your process.
That's right.
By either yourself or someone on your behalf saying, "Hey, I'm so and so. I represent this artist. We're working on this project. It's amazing. Do. Next thing you know, you are being connected if you are not the one that's connecting yourself. But you've got to know all the aspects that are needed to be an active player in the game. Yes. And then if you don't have those attributes, you got to surround yourself with them.
That's right. That's kind of what the guy who I was interviewing the other night said. Did a different kind of show the other night. He was an actor. I was like, I mean, he's a poet, but we really talked about him just being an actor. And it came from Carisha. It came from, I met Carisha the Diva. She has her own platform, and it's a great platform that she has. She does a lot of different interviews. She manages a bunch of different artists and different actors. And when I met her that night, she was like, we gotta work. And I said, bet. She said, I got a couple of people I'd like to put on your show. I said, bet. She said, that way we can cross. And that's the thing. Meeting people, once again, if you're meeting people, we talked about this earlier, you can cross promote on each other's platform.
Yes.
So when I put out the graphic about the interview, when I put out the clip from the interview leading up to the interview to get people, she's reposting them on all her platforms. She's like, so that's bringing eyes to here. And so people got to get out, meet people, network, because you never know how that person fits into the vision or into the plan that you may have for your music. Mm-hmm. I mean, there was a guy that, and I told this story a million times before, but I was at ASCAP, 2016 probably. You know, they used to do ASCAP festivals out in LA. Yeah. And I was there, I think in whatever year Timbaland was, that was the funniest thing. The Timbaland year, when Timbaland was on the live, on the Zoom. Oh man, that was a hilarious time. But anyway, I'm standing in line to go see Timbaland because he couldn't make it, so he was going to be in the Zoom. Mm-hmm. And I'm standing in line, and there's a guy in front of me. Now, I could have decided not to talk to this guy, but I said, I'm going to talk to this guy. I want to see what he does. Let's find out about him. White guy, black hair, wears glasses, black glasses. Let me find out who he is. Hey, how you doing? My name is Brian. Hey, nice to meet you. Hey, how you doing? My name is Lionel. Nice to meet you as well. Me and Lionel got into a nice conversation about what he does, and he does music for film, and he has over, I don't even remember how many songs Lionel has, 1,000 maybe. He's 12 albums, something like that. Yeah. I ended up inviting Lionel onto a music panel that I did with Willpower and Focus. Mm. And I would not have had even the ability to have Willpower there if I didn't know and meet Willpower at an iStandard event. I would have never had Focus, who works with Dr. Dre and Marsha Ambrosia and Beyonce and Jay-Z, if I didn't go to an iStandard. Shout out to Jay Hatch, man, miss you, bro. If I didn't network and go out there and do that. Same thing with Lionel. So I had a connection to all three and brought all three together. Mm-hmm. And none of them is the beauty of it. None of them asked for money in the first place. But even Focus was like, oh yeah, I'm ready to do that. Let me know when it is. And boom, he was there. He was the first one online, ready to go. Like, hey, I'm here. Let's go. But it is about building those relationships
through networking.
Relationships. And you're right. It is something that a AI, avatar, robot, music program cannot do. Yeah. It cannot do that for you. It cannot replicate, duplicate. You have to be the one that is putting boots to the pavement, meeting people, connecting with people, and building relationships.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
I don't know what else, man. I think
that's good.
Yeah, that's good. It's good, right?
It's good. I think there's so much that has changed in the last 3 years that for artists to try to figure it out on the fly, the networking kind of helps you figure it out faster because you end up surrounding yourself with a community of people who've got the answers. Mm-hmm. You ain't got to figure it all out by yourself.
That's facts.
So
you don't got to figure it out by yourself. There are people out there who are willing to give you information and to even connect with you. Yeah. If you're willing to connect with them, if there's value in what you do.
There you go.
And value in what you bring to the table. Yeah. You can't just be a bum that's just trying to feed off everybody.
Right.
Without reciprocating any type of value to the other person.
Yeah. What's your contribution?
Facts.
Conjunction, junction, what's your function?
I don't even know what he says, but
yeah, me either.
I never know what he said, but that's how he.
Yeah,
that's how he sounds.
I didn't know anymore.
Shoot, I used to watch that growing up, man. I remember that. Conjunction, junction. What's all? But Deb and Dude and Deb and Deb. No, that dude. He had to be black though. The way he was saying it. Oh, he was one of them.
Hey, if he wasn't black, it would be a problem.
He was one of them country, Southern soul white guys.
Yeah.
They were like, hey, done do them did and like them did them did.
Maybe. I think.
I don't even know what he said. I'm gonna look it up. I mean, I don't got nothing else, bro. I think that's it. Like
the slate is clean.
Yeah, the slate is. I think we did it tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
I was gonna try not to be on to talk about the AI stuff.
Yeah, I mean, because
we can come back to that in a later conversation.
Bro.
But there's been a lot of conversation about this Chris Brown album, and there being a lot of AI on the project.
You know, I did a whole breakdown on the Chris Brown album. We never got to it, but I did a whole. Maybe that's what we can do now. I did a whole analysis.
Yeah,
on the Chris Brown album, broke it down by theme of each song.
Yeah.
Because matter of fact, once again, this is why you go to places. So Mike Norris, shout out to Mike Norris. I had a chance to reconnect with him back at Music Biz. He was on the committee for AIMP when we first started.
Okay.
And we ain't seen each other since.
Yeah.
And he was like, hey, what's good? I was like, Mike Norris. He was like, yeah, B, what's good? I was like, yeah. You know, what you been up to since we were involved with AIMP? He was like, man, we've been doing this. He said, man, matter of fact, we just had 2 joints on the Chris Brown album. I was like, oh, really? He was like, yeah, we did. I forgot the name of the 2 songs, but the whatever, and I only know because it's the last song on the album.
Okay.
Whatever that song is on the album, they did that one and another one. And he said, yeah, we just got 2 placements on the Chris Brown joint. You know, everything's going well. We got some other placements going there. Matter of fact, I met another dude that was there that was out from LA that does, man, I gotta go find that dude because I know we share all share Instagrams, marketing or something like that for a lot of like major artists. He was out of music business chilling, like meeting people, you know, brother too. But and then as we were talking about the Chris Brown album, I was saying, you know, this album, when I listened to it, and we can, like I said, we can talk about it at another time. But, you know, was very sexual oriented in some way. And man, Blizzum was there. I interviewed Blizzum on the show. He was there. He said, you know what? And we got into the conversation about why is it guys, blah, blah, blah. And Blizzum was like, you know, I don't think that's true. He said, because you listen to Kalani's album, almost a lot of her songs is about the same thing. Sex. He said, and I know because I own a radio station. He said, so I get all the albums and I listen to them and play them. And I can tell you that you're sitting here saying Chris Brown has a lot of songs on his album that are sexually oriented, but so does she. But why are we not saying nothing about, oh man, we got to get, that's a conversation
that's an interesting thought. The catch is she's singing to the same audience. Chris Brown's audience is women. In Kehlani's mind, so is hers. So
she's singing to women too. Hey,
so
baby.
the subject matter would be parallel to his based on the fact that they're servicing the same customer.
Yeah, I can see that.
And probably when he does it, depending on the woman, it would be viewed as aggressive. But when she does it, it's probably not so aggressive, right?
Facts.
You either
true.
interested in it or you're not.
Right.
As a female at that point, you listening for the melody and maybe the wordplay or something. I don't know, but
it's very interesting when I went through and broke down everything from the songs. It literally, I broke down exactly what themes of each one, whether it was drug related, sex related, sexual innuendos, like when I say sex related, like actual real him talking about, because he has some stuff in that song that he was saying. I was like, nope, that's a whole song about sex. Oh, this song is about drugs. Oh, this song just has sexual references and innuendos, but really isn't about. You could take it one way or the other.
I feel like I heard one song on the project that was actually like a love song,
And it's probably the last song.
I don't know. If
It's
it was the
probably
last one.
probably the last. Like I said,
yeah, there
that
was
would be a
one
good
record
conversation
that was like
to.
truly about, hey, let's be one in this great relationship type vibe.
Yeah,
Everything else is just like I said. Is let me bang your head against this headboard and let me see if I can put you back through the drywall.
Yeah,
That's the theme
present.
of songs. If we went through, pick like the top 5 male artists and then did that equation of what's the theme of each song.
Oh, it's gonna be. Yeah.
All 5 artists, 75% of the songs are
Yeah.
about the same thing.
Yeah.
So
Like F and Party. He had a song called F and Party.
yeah,
We know what that's about.
yeah, it's
Right.
that's pretty
Yeah.
straightforward.
Right.
there.
Honey Pack.
Honey Pack,
We know what
yeah.
that's about, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
Honey Pack is an entertaining little ditty.
Yeah. Body goals. Skin
no
to
pun
skin.
intended.
Skin to Skin. Holy Blindfold was pretty cool. That was a good song. Present was a good song. But I did do a whole thing where you could break it down in that. It gave an analysis.
Of them songs.
It gave an analysis of the Chris Brown album. So, but I just thought it was very interesting after it went and did that whole breakdown. I was like, oh,
yeah,
like let me go find these references because I'm like, oh no, he said this in the song. Oh, I know he said this because it's in the lyrics. Let's go find it.
Right?
Yeah, girl, I will.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
like, yo.
you know, when you think about it, there's only actually when you think about how many songs have been written, and there's literally only basically 4 things that we ever write songs about.
Yeah, now
falling in love, not being in love, having sex, and partying.
Oh, did I delete it? I think I deleted
That's it. Those 4 things.
Yeah, I think I deleted it.
Yeah, that's pretty much all you get. So, you know, there's a few other songs out there, but most of them are, even not being like even Folded, which was a much more creative spin on how they formatted the record.
Mm-hmm.
It still was about a relationship. I mean, that's either ain't a whole lot to talk about out here.
I mean, who wants to hear songs about arthritis?
Yeah, or well, you know, and you know that actually has become a thing though.
I'm making songs about real life.
You know, with Suno being as prevalent as it is out here, especially with the younger community, we got songs about everything. You see the songs where they take the comments from posts and turn the comments into songs.
Them things be hilarious.
They do. They be
them things be funny, bro.
They be hilarious. But meanwhile,
that's what
songs
you use
about everything. Yeah, sure. That's
what you
that's
should
an applicable
AI.
use,
Yes.
right? That's apropos.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
That's a good use of AI.
Yeah, that's probably harmless.
Harmless.
Right?
Make me laugh with that.
But and I guess it's not really harmless because we're generally laughing at someone, not with them. We're laughing at the expense of someone's situation.
We're laughing at the situation.
Yeah.
That they because
sometimes them things be like
hilarious.
About the way somebody looks or the way they body shapes.
Man, no, the ones I be
hilarious.
The ones I be listening to, they be like, Nina. They be like, what's up, girl? Girl, I'm in this bathroom. Like what? Like I done ate beans and I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But they do be funny.
They be funny.
I like the use of AI for that. I like that.
Yeah, that's fine.
But you know what's interesting is I did get into a conversation with someone about AI and the use of AI. And this is probably something that, once again, I know we said we weren't going to talk about AI, but I'll leave it at this. And saying, what if AI gave you an idea? Like, what if you say you made a song, but you were missing like this one part, and you're like, man, and you threw it into AI, and AI was like, oh, you could do this, and you're like, yo, that's perfect. But what if you took that and sent it to your man's and had your man replay it? and then use what your man and pay your man and use what he sent, what he played, and he sent back to you in the song, even though AI gave you the idea.
I guess.
I was like, yo, that's what it's gonna come to.
I guess. It's still nasty work to me because he didn't come up with it himself. You know, I've produced records, co-produced records where, we sent out for, let's say, guitar lead or a solo. Well, we just asked them to give us several passes. And you know, you kind of already have gauged the talent level of the instrumentalist, and then you got to be a producer.
Yeah,
there's been so many times that you might have a session player come in and play, 20 minutes worth of guitar licks, and then you go and cut that up and turn it into the licks, the patterns, and the melodies that you want it to be. Taking those ideas and putting them in a certain format, there's at least some creative energy that is tied to that, from both the talent level of the person who played it initially and then your vision as a producer for the song and where you wanted to take it, produced from humans for the enjoyment of humans.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you.
I don't think we should do things that are generated by computers for the enjoyment of humans.
But we do.
I don't think that.
But we do.
For creative arts,
we do things
is
that
the most toxic cannibalism of creativity
cartoons
that I've ever seen.
Pixar is all digitally created. By human, it is by human though.
It's by human.
But it's in a
not
computer.
Computer for human.
You're saying something that is only 100% computer generated.
Yeah, the computer told me this is
what.
Here, this is what you
use this.
No, if I tell the computer,
true. But what if you told the computer?
Somebody in most cases.
But what if you told the computer that you're looking for a 70s brass sample in the style of with 86 BPM, blah blah blah, and you laid out the whole prompt and it gave it back to you, and you were like, yo, that's dope, let me send it to my man so my man can replay this and add his embellishments and his different takes to it, and then he sends it back.
I think that probably is not so bad,
because that's why I told the guy, I was like, that's what people are going to start doing.
Yeah, that's not so bad. It's not so good, but it's not so bad, especially if I still turn back around as the producer, and when my man gives me, his rendition of what was AI generated, then I still have to place it in the track, create the transitions, whatever, like that. If I'm doing that, sure. But we know right now that's not what's happening. It's a prompt, and then it's
a drag and drop.
And
it's a let's go.
Yeah, and let's go. Right, and these people have there are people who have no concept of BPM, of root note or
scale,
of chords. They've got no. What's
a seventh chord?
That would be what in the medical field would be known as malpractice.
You're committing musical malpractice.
It's musical malpractice. You don't have
musical
you don't have the acumen, you don't have the accreditation to be creating for public consumption on a monetary level.
But the only issue is that it was computer generated, because people can say the same thing about a loop. Like, you ain't create that, you just took that loop and dragged and dropped. So
right, you didn't create it, but you had to pick the loop. You had to sequence the loop.
Maybe we just took the whole thing and just put it in there. That's what
ain't a loop.
That's what your man Ice JJ Fish did in one of his songs, "Something About You, Girl." He took the whole pack and just whoever produced it, they just took the whole pack and just they made the whole song out of that. I was like, hey, I know where that came from. I heard that. I got that. I know where that came from. But and the conversation, that's what I told. I said that is where it's going to end up going. I said because what's going to happen is you're going to have these platforms that no longer want AI generated music, but what's going to happen is that you're going to have two things. The first is that you're going to have people that go to these platforms, Suno, Udio, and upload whatever amount of work they were able to do, and then have one of those platforms give them the other piece. They're going to take that because they know that, one, they don't know how to remove the AI tag. Not saying I do. I'm just saying people don't know people don't know how to do that, right? So they're going to take the song and they're going to have their mans play it. And be like, hey, or a bassist, or who a pianist, or who a flutist, or whatever.
Some we hope that
it.
some even
they
will
not,
do
though.
that. They're not.
They're not. Go replay.
But we
this.
hope that they do, because then that means that they paid somebody to
somebody to do it. So go play this, and I'm gonna put it out, and I'm gonna use it,
or at least gave them credit, or
piano
at least,
played by, bass played by.
Yeah.
Even though the idea came from this platform, based off of what I've see. That's the issue. And that's what I told him. So that's part of the issue, because sometimes when you go into Suno, you're just telling Suno to give me this, but you don't have anything that is referencing. Like if you created the entire track, but you just want a piano part, and you put that in, so give me the piano part. Everything else you created, drums, bass, everything else, you just want a piano. Okay, cool. Give me that. I'm gonna get this my man's and let him play it. And I'm gonna then take that and chop it up and put it in the song the way I want it to be laid out. And I said, that's what, because a lot of platforms, I think Apple just said today that they're going to really be looking at AI music and kind of scrubbing AI music from Apple Music.
They got work to do there, because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of AI on Apple Music.
They got a lot of work to do. But that I think I saw that today.
Disgusting.
So people are going to find ways around it. Which I told them, I said, that's a way around it. They're like, you're probably right. I said, the second thing is, I think these Suno, Udio type companies, and you can do it now, but they're going to become a DSP themselves.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
100%.
100%.
Either that, or they're going to find some way to basically integrate what they do into the distro platforms.
Yes. Facts.
Yeah, just
facts.
This similar fashion is how on all these different DSPs you can set the parameters for how your YouTube exposure is. Whether it's a topic page, whether they track when people use your sound for payout of the usage, like. That's built into DSPs.
Yep.
But it's for and from another platform. So I wouldn't be surprised at all to see them do that.
They're about to do it.
Especially since they out here making these backyard deals with the
record labels,
major labels. We don't know what's about to happen.
But we're going to see. Man, that's it. That's all I got. That's all I got. All
right.
All I got.
Yeah. Come back and join us again for another episode of
The Indie Unplugged. I don't even know why I said it that way. Indie Unplugged. All right, we out, y'all. Peace.